All right. Now let's look at another one. We're going to sketch another one here. And this one here is, we're going to look at this problem here. It's a little bit different. But I'm going to start out the same way. I want to simplify the problem. And the first thing I'm going to do is this. I'm going to write something over each term. This one didn't have a last term, so I added a +0 here to help make my work easier when I go to do all my work. And the first thing I want to find is the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept, if you remember, is just the last numbers there. So the y-intercept is at 1 over 0, or it's actually -1 over 0. And can I divide by 0? No. So there is no y-intercept on this particular problem. It's important. I next want to find my x-intercepts. I find it by setting the numerator equal to 0. The numerator is the 2x minus 1. So I'm just going to go 0 equals 2x minus 1. Add 1 to each side. Divide by 2, and x is 1/2. So guess where the x-intercept is at? 1/2, 0. The next thing I want to find is the vertical asymptote. And I find the vertical asymptote by setting the denominator equal to 0. The denominator is right there. So 0 equals x plus 0. Or that's just what? X equals what? 0. So the vertical asymptote occurs at x equals 0. That was why there was no y-intercept. Because if there's an asymptote there, there's no y-intercept. All right? So, oh, I need to find the horizontal asymptote. How do I do it? The leading coefficients. Notice I have this nice red box popping up here. What are the coefficients? The degrees are the same. So I have a 2 over 1. So there's a horizontal asymptote at y equals dos. That's 2 for those that don't speak Spanish. Okay? So the horizontal asymptote occurs at y equals 2. Now, I'm ready to somewhat graph, but I need to plot some. First off, you can see I put my vertical asymptote there at x equals 0. Need to put a horizontal one at y equals 2. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. And now I need to put some points on here. Look, I already have 1 point. 1/2, 0. 1/2, 0 would be right there. So now I need to test a number on the left side of this asymptote. What would be the easiest number to test? Left of 0? If you said -1, that's the number I would have picked. Oh, look there, Coach Stoney put number 1 in there. And I went up to the problem and replaced x with parentheses and plug it in, plug it in. I plugged in a -1. 2 times -1 is -2 minus 1, and -1 plus 0 is -1. That will be, this makes -3 over -1, which will make 3 for an answer. So at -1, I have a point at -1, 3, which is right here. So I know I'm going to have a graph smooth and curvy like guideline 7. Smooth and curvy like guideline 7. Woohoo! Actually hit my dots that time. So you don't have to be real exact. When I go to grade this, I'm going to be looking at the asymptotes and are your curvy lines in the right place. So, but once again, y-intercept, x-intercept, vertical, horizontal asymptotes, and a few points. That's all I need. Thank you.